We've all been told that we need to keep our left arm straight in the golf swing, but I truly believe that most people are taking that and going way too far with trying to keep their left arm straight, and it's actually really detrimental to their golf game. So in this video, we're going to talk about how the left arm works, and more importantly, whether we should actually be trying to keep it straight or not throughout the golf swing. One thing that human beings are not great at is moderation, and typically we try to take things a bit too far. And when most golfers hear that the left arm needs to stay straight, they go, well, that's awesome because my left arm goes straight and I can just kind of push it straight and keep it locked out and straight the whole golf swing. And for a lot of us, that really does a lot of negative things for us in the golf swing. So what we want to talk about is when we say that the left arm stays straight throughout the golf swing, what do we actually mean? Because when we think of the left arm, we've got three joints and they move differently than one another. So we have to really think about how we would move those segments together and maintain an alignment. And I think when we think of the word straight, we typically are thinking of an alignment, and that's more important to what we need to maintain in the golf swing is the alignment of these joints versus being able to draw a straight line down the left arm during any point in the golf swing and declare that that's what we want to do. So stay tuned because we're going to talk about how this left arm actually does work in an alignment and how we can use that alignment and view it from the correct plane to see it as a straight line. So I think a lot of people would agree with me that if you look at my left arm right now, it appears to be very straight with the golf club. And I think that this is fine for the most part. But what you can't maybe see is that now I just changed my arm significantly and I've actually hyperextended my elbow, and now I've locked out my left arm. They both are straight, but they are not the same thing. And that's where I think the topic really has to change around keeping the left arm straight, and instead of thinking about straight, thinking of more aligned. So when the left arm gets hyperextended, what we tend to see is that the arm kind of goes past what we would consider to be straight or 180 degrees. And that's when we're hyperextending the left arm. So in an effort to keep the left arm straight, a lot of golfers will lock out that left arm and then start pushing it away from their body, just like I'm doing here, because they're keeping their left arm straight. And what we can see from the down the line perspective is that I've kept my left arm straight, but now I need the club to go up. So then they typically pair that with a lot of wrist hinge to make the club go up, is what we tend to see. So at the end of the day, what's happening with that left arm being straight is that I'm actually taking my spine and I'm dragging it with my left arm and left shoulder across my body to the right side. And we can see that my spine is now leaning significantly away from the target. And that's not a situation where we want to find ourselves when we're making our backswing, because as you can see, as the left arm moves away, my body stays tilted forward, and it's very difficult for me to get the club to want to move up and around a little bit. So it tends to get me stuck in this forward position, which really takes away my ability to create any depth. So by keeping the left arm straight, it really tends to push the hands too far away, which tends to move my spine, and now it's really difficult for me to reorganize my body prior to impact. So we talked about a pretty basic situation where keeping the left arm straight really leads to excessive wrist hinge and really takes away our ability to create depth with our backswing. And that's pretty obvious to see, and I think a lot of people who struggle with a steep backswing will immediately recognize that. For our more astute players who tend to have issues creating the appropriate ground reaction forces, or more importantly, tend to feel like they're typically stuck behind the golf ball, like we said, they kind of get the spine leaning away, and then it kind of leans away the whole time, and they're constantly kind of stuck back here on the right side. When we're talking about those types of players, a lot of this, once again, is because they're trying to keep that left arm straight. So we've got these plates turned on, and we're gonna look at the pressure situation of what happens when I try to keep my left arm straight. So we've got me on the force plates here. We can see I'm just about 50-50 with my weight right now, or my pressure, I should say, excuse me. Now, what we want to look at here is that if I keep this left arm straight and locked out, and I try to keep it straight as I move back, we can see that my pressure, if I try to make the club move up, keeping my left arm straight, really wants to stay on my left foot. So you can see that that's the reverse pivot where I tend to get stuck on my left side because I'm trying to lift the club because my left arm is locked. So with my left arm locked, we can see it's very hard for me to get at least 80% into my trail side like we want to create here. So you can see it's very easy. Once I start letting my body move and my left arm kind of soften a little bit. Now, that might be a bit much, so I could probably be a little bit more there, but we can see that I'm still able to get that pressure onto my right foot and load more into my right leg. That's what we want to see, is getting that pressure to the right and into the cuboid. So what we want to do is we want to avoid trying to keep this left arm straight at all costs, because we can see it has a very negative impact on our ability to load into the trail side during the golf swing. So keeping your left arm straight is one of those things that almost every golfer is told upon their first couple times trying to hit golf balls from somebody trying to offer help. But as often as that's been said, we also see that people tend to be very late with their ground reaction forces and have a difficult time using the ground correctly. And I really believe that one of the biggest things that messes up the loading sequence of the body in the backswing is this idea that we want to keep the left arm straight. Because as we saw in the previous part, that we were having a very difficult time getting our pressure onto the right foot when we were trying to keep our left arm straight and lift the club up to the top. That creates a lot of loading issues, primarily because if the left arm stays locked and hyperextended and the hand is squeezed, where the trap and scap kind of connect to the shoulder, tends to really get kind of frozen, and this shoulder no longer really wants to rotate very well within the socket. So overall, keeping the left arm straight really creates a lot of difficult situations for most golfers in their golf swing. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you have any questions about how the left arm works in the golf swing, please make sure to leave us some questions in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you're interested in working with me or visiting us in Ann Arbor, Michigan, you can find more information on that by searching my name, Michael Dutro, in the Skillest app. So thanks so much, and until next time, keep grinding.